So,
how much money do they make?
it's kind of, Walker, do you want to explain the Board of Regents then? What was the question? Can you repeat the question for Walker?
Oh, yeah. How much money do they make?
And what do they do, and why do we want to do it for
As far as I know, they don't, they're not compensated exorbitantly for their work on the Board of Regents. It's more just how shitty of a job they do, I guess. So it's like they're for the most part pretty wealthy and independent, right? So they're not like making their money off of this, but a lot of them have business connections that they use their position on the Board of Regents to help, and vice versa. And so there's a lot of this kind of good old boy network.
Conflict of interest, you would say?
Some pretty serious ones in some cases, yeah. And so there's not this indication at all, like no matter how hard you look, that they're really interested in bettering education, or that they're interested in making the universities more public, or what, whatever. They don't come from backgrounds of education or even helping people. I think it'd be nice if some of these people came from backgrounds of just helping people. They don't. Yeah, they are our government here at Georgia State. They're who controls things. They set tuition. They have more power over this institution than any other body.
The meetings aren't open to the public?
No, they are.
They are open to them.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of communication. They only meet once a month. There's a lot of communication.
Is there
that's
a
happening,
primary
behind doors
Is there a primary example that you have in your mind when you say that not only is there a conflict of interest, but that they're doing a shitty job at being the Board of Regents?
Well, maybe somebody can. What were we just talking about? There's currently a whistleblower case, right, in the courts here in Georgia, involving a former employee of the university system, where she's basically trying to make a lot of information public. And that specifically, one of the things is a complaint. When students or faculty or staff file complaints, they go to the university system of Georgia, the Board of Regents, and they have been systematically just discarding those. They
haven't been reviewing them or trying to actually make a change.
They throw them out. They don't even read them.
Yeah. There's also some two businesses that are represented on the Board of Regents through different members of, not like the business themselves, but two regents who own businesses who.
They all kind of represent different big financial or corporate sectors in Georgia. I mean, that's why they're appointed. So one big problem is that they are appointed by the governor, right? And not kind of democratically elected into these positions. So that's a little iffy. Only one out of 13, I believe, 13.
Now they're 18.
Now they're 18. Well, I don't know the new folks that well. One unfortunately, I do know well. But one out of these past 13 that has had any teaching experience.
Yeah.
So they're hired because they have experience running big corporations. So essentially, they are hired, or can't really say hired, appointed to see that the university system runs like a better corporation. That's pretty much verbatim.
Well, if I can come back to one point, the point about them discarding those complaints.
Yeah.
How are they doing that? Is that a thing of like, you send something in and they're like, well, we're still reviewing it a year later. We're still reviewing it.
The specifics I'm not quite sure about. I was under the impression that they were so arrogant that they weren't even looking at
trying to give an explanation.
Or trying to give an explanation,
I'm not trying to be difficult. I just, I want to be...
Those are good questions.
Yeah.
There's some information that's already public due to this specific whistleblower case I was talking about. So we need to, we're going to have a pamphlet, hopefully, that this group could put together and that we can disseminate throughout the student body that will have a lot of this information. And we'll get more into the specifics there. But yeah, there's a lot of documentation out there about that sort of thing, and it's just one more reason why they don't serve us, down there.
I think one of the biggest issues is that they determine, the tuition rates each year, and that's since, what is the figure? Since
46% since 2007.
Since 2007, tuition has gone up approximately 47%.